Liberals are like clouds. If they would disappear, it would be a beautiful day. Okay, the President of the United States of America, he now has designated the nightclub named Pulse, where 49 people were gunned down 5 years ago, as a national monument. You know what? And then he says, hey, Congress, let's pass gun control. This guy, I mean, that's symbolic, but it's also stupid. A whole bunch of S's there. I got to tell you, it's overreach to say the least. What's up with that? He's trying to make a statement. He's not doing it really well, is he? Because if you're going to do that, there's so many other places, not just with guns, with drug overdoses and car accidents. Are you going to have national monuments everywhere? Really? Come on, go to the stats again. Gun control doesn't work. Go to Chicago, go to Baltimore, go to the cities that have really, really strong gun control. There's more killings and shootings there than there are in Afghanistan, right? I mean, I gotta tell you, it ain't nice. You know, he says the nation must also acknowledge the impact of gun violence on the alphabet community, right? We must drive out hate, especially transgender women of color. You know, I gotta look at the stats on that, but I think, again, he's kind of symbolic. He's trying to make a statement. He's trying to get all the little people who hate white people and everything else. A lot of them, of course, are white liberals. They hate white folk. And he's saying, let's rally, because women of color, particularly the transgender people, are being killed. Okay, if you're really, I have not looked into the stats, but I have with other situations that these people try to always bring up with their overreach, and it just ain't true. It's never true. What about white women? What about white men? What about anybody? Colors should not matter, and they don't to sane people, because you don't want people killed. It's not nice. He's always focusing, like the Prime Minister in Canada and so many other leaders in other countries, they focus on this because it's a low-hanging fruit, politically speaking, you know, and now he's saying, hey, let's have an Equality Act to ban discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. I think we already have that. It's called discrimination, and you're discriminating against other groups. They're always singling out groups. I think the public is okay with all of this now. Stop it. I think they're into conversion. They want to make us all one of them. Can't we just live and let live? Hey, there's a term that liberals should use. Live and let live. Kind of get over yourself. In Wisconsin, a judge now with the overreach has said, hey, Biden, you've messed up here. You gave $4 billion as a race-based federal relief program for farmers. You said, oh, your white farmers make do. If you're black, I'm going to give you $4 billion. And that's unfair. And so a group of white farmers got together and they filed a lawsuit and they argued the policy and they said, hey, that discriminates against us. And of course it does. It does. Now the judge said, I agree with that. So he's given a temporary injunction. They're looking to kind of move it forward. I think they'll be successful. I hope they will be. They are so far at least. And you know what? You have to disagree with that order from the president because it's racist. I mean, you can't do that. You can't separate, or you can, I guess, if you're the president, but you shouldn't be able to separate people because of their color. I mean, and then he has the audacity and the gall, maybe there's other words, to stand up in front of everybody, God too, and say, oh, you white folk are prejudiced, and I'm going to include this group and that group, and yet he does this. It's a pretty bad thing. And then you have Boris, Boris Johnson, the main man in England. You know, the press has kind of given him a free ride too. They've said, hey, you're a right-wing guy, and I've followed his career somewhat, and I don't know quite, well, there's different definitions today about right-wing, of course, and he's certainly in that new definition. He now is saying at this recent G7 roundtable meeting, he kind of cozied up and gave big hugs to all of the other liberals that were there, and he now says, you know what, we got to build back better. Of course, he's referring to COVID, build back better in a more gender-neutral, feminine way. I remember men were men and women are glad they were. What is that? What does that mean? A more feminine way. We're all supposed to walk around and kind of do funny stuff. I mean, come on. Be what you are. Live in a more feminine way, more gender neutral. Men, women, that's kind of it. The animal kingdom, you know. Where do these people get this information? It's like they don't have minds. Mindless, kind of, sort of. Then Canada. Other countries too, but Canada, this is the kind of model I want to talk about. They say with COVID, y'all can't travel. Stay home. You can't move around. Unless you're a hockey player, then it's okay. And now they've extended that to cowboys. You're going to come to the rodeo, that's okay. Every other Canadian, they can't do it. But cowboys, they're allowed, and I'm a cowboy. I used to ride in the rodeo, so this isn't about being against cowboys. On the contrary, I'm still a cowboy. I ride and I think I'm tough, right? Spit in the ground to cuss occasionally, but and used to drink with both hands. But it's not right. It's not right against special interest groups. Cowboys, hockey players, percentage-wise of the overall population, what do they make up? Probably not a great number, 1% or less. How about 0.001%? Probably. The Canadian government, they're morons. They really are. A friend of mine recently boarded a plane in Los Angeles. He flew to Bellingham and didn't have a COVID test. He took a car from Bellingham to the border up by Vancouver, British Columbia, and they said, let's see your COVID test. He said, I don't have one. They fined him $5,000. He's an American. $5,000 and turned him loose. And so he went into Canada. That was that. So break that down. I mean, firstly, I hope he never pays the fine because it's stupid and he's from out of country, so why would he? Secondly, okay, I didn't have it, but you're turning me loose. Maybe I'm a carrier. And yet the Cowboys, the people that come in and pay fines, the hockey players, they're okay, but you're not. Oh boy, dumb, you know what? It is very long lasting. I just don't know how you get over gum. Not gum, dumb. A lot of women say to their husbands, if you could just quit drinking for 1 month, then I know that we can have a good life together, because I'm not sure if you're addicted or not, but you drink too much. So if you're one of those men and your wife is saying that and you have to quit drinking for a month, pick February. But there's only 28 days. See ya.